Hello and welcome to this lecture. And in this lecture, we will go ahead and create these cards right here, which are going to display the image of the news. They are going to display the news title and the news description. And they are also going to have a button over here which says something like read more. And also we are going to have a headline heading over here along with the horizontal line. So the special thing about these cards is that if you go ahead and try to shrink the width of these elements over here, at a certain time there's going to be a point where the entire row only has two cards over here, and if I keep on shrinking further, as you can see, when the screen size reduces a bit further, now the cards are stacked on top of each other and they are not aligned side by side. So this is the kind of view which you'll be getting on a mobile device. This is the kind of view which you'll be getting on a tablet, and this is the kind of view you'll be getting on a desktop or a laptop. So now let's go ahead and learn how exactly are we going to be able to build that. So let's hop back to the code right over here. And one of the most important thing you need to learn in this project is where exactly the div for a particular thing ends. So we have created a jumbotron over here and we have placed the jumbotron in this particular row. So now as we have to create an entirely different section, we now need to go ahead and create a different row for that thing. So the very first row which we'll be creating is going to be for the heading which says headlines and the horizontal line. So in order to make out which this end div tag belongs to, you simply can click over here and that's going to highlight the div which is the starting tag. That means this div belongs to this over here. That means this particular row class ends over here. So that means you have to start a new row from here. So now let's go ahead and start creating a new div row over here. So div class is going to be row, and as usual we'll end the tag over here, and also we'll add a column over here because we are using the Bootstrap grid system. So that's going to be div class column dash md dash 12 and the column over here, and this is only for the heading, which is the headline heading which we have on the website, and a horizontal line. So that's going to be h4. Let's end the tag over here. Let's say this thing says headlines, and the class for this is going to be, let's say, text center. And also make sure to add a horizontal line over here using the HR tag. So that's going to be HR class equals my-4. So once we have this thing, let's see if the heading looks appropriate on our site. So if I hit refresh, as you can see, we have the headline over here and a horizontal line, and as you can see, the line shrinks as well when we try to reduce the size of our website or web page. So now once we have this thing, let's go ahead and create another row, and this row is actually going to be for the cards which we have. So what I'll do here is that I'll create another row for the card layout. So that's going to be div class row, and that's going to be div class column over here. So that's going to be div class column, and we actually want to divide this entire thing into 3 columns. That means if we have 12 columns in all, that means 12 divided by 3 is 4. So this should actually be column dash md dash 4. So each one of those cards which we are going to have here are actually going to span a space of 4 columns when on a medium device, and on a smaller device we want this thing to span 6 columns. That means on a smaller device we should only have 2 cards. So col dash sm dash 6 for a smaller device, and for an extra small device we want to span it the entire thing. So col dash s dash 12. So this means this is what is going to make our cards responsive. And now once we end that div over here, we can now successfully go ahead and start creating the card. So in order to create a card, we type in div class, that's going to be card, and the div over here. And now let's go ahead and create a card body over here. So div class is going to be card dash body. Let's end the div over here, and let's add some elements to this card body. Let's say the card title, the card text, and the card link. So for the card title, we will use h5. So h5 class is going to be, let's say, card dash title, as this is the class which represents the actual title of the card. So this is going to be a news heading or news title. So I'll type in news title over here, and we won't be adding badges to this yet. As of now, we will just add a simple title. So this title actually ends over here, And now in this particular card body itself, let's also add some text using the paragraph. So the class for this is going to be card text, as this is nothing but some sort of text present in your card. And let's say we say something like this is news description. And finally, we need to have a call to action button inside the card body, which says that if you click this button, you'll get to read the whole news. So right after the paragraph tag, I'll create an anchor tag. The href for this is going to be hash, and the class is going to be btn-danger. So let me end this over here, and I'll just add read more text to that button. So let's see how exactly our card is looking like. So if I hit refresh, as you can see, this thing right here is our card, and it looks pretty decent, but the only thing which remains is that you need to add an image at the top. So in order to add an image, I'll just go ahead inside this card tag, and I will go ahead, create the image tag, and this image tag has to have a class which is called as card image top, because this is not a simple image. Instead, it's actually an image of a card. So that's going to be card-img-top. And now what you have to do is that you simply have to go ahead and add an image over here. So you need to specify the source. Now you can get any sort of image which you want, but what I'll do here is that I'll go to unsplash.com, and I'll just pick a random image of news. So I'll search for news, I'll pick some image. So let's say within this image, we need to actually pick up some sort of image which actually matches up the dimensions. So you can use any image which you want. So let's say we use this image. So I'll just copy the image address, get back over here, and I'll paste that over here. So once I paste the image path, we are now good to go. So now if I go back and hit refresh, as you can see, we have the image over here, and now our card looks complete. So right now we only have one card over here. So for now, what you can do is that you could simply go ahead, copy this thing and paste it twice and save the code. Let's see how the website is going to look like. So if I hit refresh, as you can see, we now have 3 cards over here. And if I try to reduce the size of this, the content shrinks, and at this point, as you can see, it now occupies only 2 cards on a single row. And if I shrink it a bit further, as you can see, now it only spans, or it now only takes the full row for a single card to fit in. So that means we have successfully added the card on our website. And now the next part which remains is that we need to actually go ahead and add this section for our website, which is some different sort of layout to display the news. And as of now, we have not added these badges over here as well. So we are also going to do that in the upcoming lectures. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.